What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I've got something sweet for you this week as we take a look at one of the top maids in Goddess of Fate, bringing to you Mousse as we look at her skills and also the different type of abilities that she can bring to your roster. I think we should just go ahead and dive right in.
I wanna be immortal, like a god in the sky. I wanna be a silk flower.
So already on the sign-in screen, we are seeing a very interesting outfit. It's a little ahead of season in the States, but Mousse, Sweet Elf, is her only primary outfit. So let's go ahead, dive right in, take a look, giving us the full stat boost. So we'll get that out of the way. But Mouse's pumpkins with candy, it just goes to show the full sort of sweet tooth theme that we've got going on. I don't have enough tickets for it, but we'll see by the end of the week what happens. And it's just overall a very good color palette, dynamic. Got a little pumpkin here with hot chocolate, coffee, or tea. Take your pick, but all the sweets and the pastries showing up with Mousse here. So looking pretty good to me. One that will definitely look well on your roster and stand out. But yeah, this week it's Mousse making her rerun and return. Very strong support, which you can get into after a moment. But let's go ahead and just dive right into what events and activities we've got going on. So for signing in, we're going to see ourselves obtaining some rainbow tickets. Looks like it's going to be quite a couple. 9, 14, only 20. All right. With 22 total up here with shards. These do not have the extra bonus items. It's just going to be the basic fragment option 1. Get some gems, get some resources, all for a total of 98 tickets. When it comes to rainbow tickets, these are harder to get. And on the community page, I did go ahead and made a little guide just to cover how rainbow tickets can be acquired when signing on or looking at ticket packages or just doing the events. But we'll get into that some more time. There is an option here to select just the 2 days if you're just looking for these fragments, or you just want to have a taste of what this sign-on pass does. And it is available up until the 26th. So even if you sign in the first 7 days, there are still 7 more days to try and purchase it. They're basically bi-weekly passes. Very good. Next, into the Oracle Revelation. This is the usual banner, looks like activity, where you can go ahead and register for your 6 tickets. With a 4 chance here, only 1 copy until there's another 40. Folks that sign in that can win a full 120 fragments of Mousse. So with that, if you do not win, everyone who participates will still at least get 5 rainbow tickets. So for low to mid spenders, this is a pretty good option just to continue to pick up these rainbow tickets because they are difficult to acquire. And just for a meager 6 tickets, I think it's a pretty good deal. But here's Mousse, already getting a full view of the pastries, the staff, and the mechanic theme that goes with her. Because again, Mousse is a mechanic support character. Finally having one to fully support the full theme. If you have been building along that family, then you're going to have a pretty good choice here, an option to select her. A little spoiled for supports after having Miranda last week. Well, let's keep going. Trials. So like always, you have the opportunity to participate in the 5 trials and then click over into the illusion trials. Do not forget this. I do see folks that just kind of skip over this. And don't ask how I know. I've skipped over it myself at the very early stages of the game. But you can go ahead and earn yourself some fragments of Mousse. Gold, some gems, a lot of gems here. And then also spend gems in the gem gift menu to acquire more fragments. So that by the end of the week, having completed your trials and also spending at least 10,000 gems, you will be able to obtain 1 full free copy. And by free, I mean not spending tickets. 1 full free copy of Mousse for your roster. There's also some first encounter airdrop tickets to go with that. So you have those options. Then, of course, mark shop is going on. I did purchase a couple of these, but you got another 6 days and 18 hours from the recording of this video to pick up a couple of these. So not bad. I picked up a few already. So continue to move on. We've already covered these. Circle back to that in a moment. The shopping Alliance Supply Station is returning. So for signing on this first week is just going to go ahead and give you some free rewards, which the first one is some candy. Good for your characters. The gems are going to be nice, as well as some of these resources ending in a blue chip by the end of the week. Nothing much going here in regards to free resources, but you're going to have the options to spend your gems in some of these. So the way this event's going to work, basically cannot access the full shop until the second day of the event. You have to complete your daily missions, and by doing so, you'll go ahead and unlock some of the menus. So I have not unlocked the second menu because I have not reached the 20 batteries needed, and you get 1 battery per completed daily mission. So on day 2, once you complete all your daily missions, basically within the next 24 hours, you will have 30 batteries, which will unlock the full shop, and you can go ahead and spend to your heart's content. So here, we get some gems. We'll go ahead and pick this up. 200, nice. Some energy cans, some gift options, and it looks like a free 10 fragments. So I'll go ahead and take that. There are rainbow tickets, which looks like it's going to run you 4,000 to get those rainbow tickets. These are much more worth it than trying to pick up the regular airdrop tickets, so keep that in mind. The awesome thing about the shopping Alliance Supply Station is that you get some critical resources at a pretty good discount. So 1,600 gems for wishes, for resonance orbs, and for pet ascension crystals is such a good deal, and I would recommend not buying them from the normal gem shop and just waiting for this event to circle around. It usually comes around every 3 to 4 weeks, and make your purchases here. So saving your gems for this, and you're basically saving yourself 1,200 per resource that you sweep, because you can only buy 3 of them, and stocking up that way. Outfit coupons. So this is a good way to try and stack up for an outfit that you're looking to get. Mouse's outfit is here with a Halloween theme, so it's going to be very popular, especially in the West. But folks, it's such a good outfit, and it's the only one from Mousse available at the moment, so it's what we got. Other than that, I don't really spend much attention on the first one. Next, we'll get some more gems, some weapon materials, some resonance gear materials, and pet materials. But you can also purchase your rare weapon tickets, which is also a good place. You're getting a discount at this shop. I can't do it right now because I have not unlocked it. But you get your resonance orbs, and that's pretty much it. Everything else does not really need attention here. These 4-star attack items are alright. You get 2, but I think there's better value elsewhere. And then finally, within 24 hours, you'll have your second intermediate and also your advanced special supply shops open. You get your more gems, advanced gene cores, more resonance gear, and also some pet food. But also mark tickets. So if you're really going hard into sweeping the mark supply shop, you can get some more here, and also at a discount get some mark tickets. To be honest, if you're doing the expedition, you'll probably want to pull them from there, because here you're paying 300 gems per ticket versus paying 250 in the expedition shop for 2. So you can decide where your value is. Pet ascension crystals, which normally you're not really trying to buy for gems in the gem shop, so you want to get them here. Good value. The SSR girl fragment option, which is including anything that's in the option 6. So what do we have here? We have Jewel, Karina, Eve, Helena, and Meteor. So this is okay value. If you're really close to getting a UR or like a high oath, maybe, but later it's not really as valuable. But if you're also trying to expand on multiple characters at once and you have tickets to spare, these packs are not too bad. because this could be 10,000 gems if you're buying it from the normal shop. So it's up to you ultimately on how you're managing those resources. But sometimes when you're upgrading multiple girls at the same time, you're gonna need some of these resources. Now for a decent discount, this voucher is here, but there are ways to get it for free. You get your monthly. Usually a sign-in will also come in monthly to get you a voucher. And then some events like the Tsukiyami's live stream, as well as other events where if you rank up or you perform enough, you could get yourself a reward from a voucher option. So that's there. Art devices, chips, advanced materials, you know, some late game stuff. SSR weapons, which by the way is only the core weapon, so you can get these for free in the class shop, so don't need that. SSR mark option 1. This is actually okay. If there are marks in here that you're needing for your team, such as the Heart Link, or Purification, or Devotion, or Rock Solid, and you don't want to try and pull it with the yellow tickets, then this is an option for you. For Mousse, you're going to want Rock Solid or Devotion. These are pretty strong for them. EP storage is also kind of okay. But these increase bio shield value. So you're going to see Oldil, Mousse, Callan on here with the bio shield, Rock Solid increasing the value too. Devotion, using energy to give an additional bio shield, so you have those options to go with it. Apparently it also applies to Wendy, not just support character. He's a healer. Got a UR Mark blind box, which if you want to gamble, it's up to you. Resonance crystals, which are okay. I think you only get 3. Yep, 3. Then you get your resonance gear options, which these can vary in value. You're only getting 1, which is going to be 100 fragments. Not sure how I feel about these, but they're there if you're really, really close to unlocking some additional levels with the crystals. Then you get your relic items, so if you want to reset your stats on the particular relics or protect stats as you're resetting them, or also level up like a rank 3 or rank 4 relic, then these are the options here. There's not many, so for this price and tickets, I don't think the value is there. This one is always a point of contention. 3 blind relics. At this price, you're looking at about 66 tickets per each, and it also gives you the chance of getting stats like dodge or hit, which normally are not available in the selection boxes. So this one actually is decent value. You're getting a pretty good deal for it if you're considering it for your tickets. At filling out feathers, pendants, garlands, flowers, and any of the other crystals, because you're usually gonna use the feathers. So having the feathers for your main offensive marks, such as the penetration medal or the accumulation medal, is going to be a good option. So this one is specifically only the feather, and you can save your selection boxes for the others, like the garland, the pendant, the flower, whatever you need for your medal. But it's just feathers become very important, especially for your DPS characters that are usually going to be wearing medals that require more feathers than any of the other parts or any of the relics, and a good choice of gems. So good value. The medal. This is a selection box, and it has the accumulation medal, 4-star. If you've not picked this up yet and you're a mid spender with a DPS character that's built, this is a very good option to get started with. It's also available in the Tsukiyami livestream event if you hadn't had that come up yet, but for most of your PvE content, it is highly recommended that your first 4-star medal really be this accumulation. And you can see 3 feathers. That's where the other pack comes in too, because you're going to get 3 red star feathers. Means a lot of stats, means damage boost, means attack boost, and also your attack increasing by the 6% up to 5 times. Other medals that are popular with supports, with healers, is going to be the Vitality medal, which increases your energy. And if you're playing like a mono tribe or a mono family, the support for also your healers, for your support girls, for your tanks, is going to give you a damage reduction boost for each ally of the same race. So good stuff there. And purification is alright, but it's a little hard to use because of the different relics that you need to have. And finally, counterattack, which does not require as many feathers, but gives you the option, especially with your healers, to just do a basic attack, quotation marks, heal every time they're hit or they take some damage. So you got the value there. And then finally, your 2 big medals. So you got a medal of accumulation. This is going to be the full one. And also the penetration medal, which is really good in PvP arena modes. Just being able to really burst things down with ignoring defense or increasing your crit damage, but also getting some pretty big damage and attack boost. Again, being the second offensive medal, going to require 3 feathers, and that's where the other pack comes in with the 3 random red UR relic feathers. So keep that in mind. At these price points, it's alright. You're going to see them in most events at this price point anyways. But remember, you can get them for free by stacking up merit in the Tsukuyami a live stream event. I'm going to keep saying that because that event is so good. Finally, there's supply drop where you can drive around as Louise and collect rewards from the sky while trying to dodge all the bombs. And actually, I've just noticed that her drone is carrying a wine bottle, which, oh, that's great. Excellent. Yeah, she's not going to be caught, driving with possession of alcohol. So little joke for y'all there. But yeah, you will drive around. You're going to ignore the bombs. It is timed, so just make sure you're driving around and collecting the rewards as they drop on the ground. I'm not going to do it because it's a little awkward on PC, but that's just... I'll wait for mobile. So let's go look at the banners. The quirky... what? Alright, I'm going to have a hard time saying this, but for your viewing pleasure... Potassier. I'll say it with a little bit of a French kind of tone, but here we go. Mousse herself, with all the little desserts around. I can see the artwork is already going to be interesting, but it is a rerun. She ran a couple months back. And your rewards here for folks that are looking to build a 5-star, you're going to want to generally consider having 450 summons done. I don't know if I can get that myself, but it is what it is. Maybe we need a little more help. But when you're trying to make a UR character, usually you're hitting the 750 if you're doing it in one sitting. So keep that in mind if you're trying to pull for Mousse. Next, her weapon is going to be the hoverboard. Alright, and we're going to get Mortar's weapon, Shimasuki, they're in there too. No cumulative summoning rewards, but it is requiring 30. And I just want to advise folks that because we are pretty close to what I would consider being the next Dark or Sane Altar event, it does require the use of these weapon tickets. So, going straight for the plus 11 this close to a Dark Altar event, if you're saving for a Dark or a Sane character, might not be the best idea. You do want to collect a copy of the weapons if you are building the character, but just remember for Mousse here, her board is kind of needed if you're going for the multicasting skills, especially on a mechanic team. But let's go ahead and dive into that in a moment. We have marks to do. For marks, we have Heavenly Protection again, which if you remember last week, is really good for support girls. Extending the duration of the buffs by 1 turn. You're gonna want this a lot on your Hiru and Yoru, on your Mousse, also on your Kalin. It's also a good value on Odil, on Miranda. Your support girls love extending the buffs because some of them can stack, so it's pretty good. Greed is here, especially for beast folk teams that need to be restoring their energy. If you're in a PvE mode where you are defeating targets that can revive, then oh gosh, you're going to be spamming a lot of energy and gaining it back. In PvP, it can just be kind of a win more tactic where you're taking your enemy characters down and just gaining energy so you can continue to forcefully spam your skills. So it is a good one, especially if you're a beast folk player. And then finally, for mechanic support girls like Chloe and Mousse, you are going to gain an additional attack increase every time they take an extra action. and restore some energy. This is good because Mousse has some skills that affect girls' energy, so we'll get to that here in a moment. There you go. Enjoyment is okay, but still, you should get a Heavenly's Protection if you don't already have one, especially for Hero and Yoru, because it's a pretty decent damage increase compared to the attack boost that you're getting from the Enjoyment. If you already have your Protection Mark or a Soul Armor, then you can look at the additional Enjoyment Mark. And remember, it's only for Chloe and only for Mousse. Alright. So let's go take a look at Mousse and see what all the hype is about. We're gonna go straight into the girl menu, mechanic. Just get a quick first impression of what Mousse really does. Her basic attack grants a bio shield of 5%. Okay. 100% of attack. That's, you know, low. I mean, she's a poor girl. We don't expect much as far as the damage output. Her skill covers the allies in the back row with a pudding jelly. So, you know, that is the bio shield. Equal to 10% of her max HP, so you want to have her be an HP build, so she's giving up a big bio shield to the enemy, to your back line allies, and also gives them a healing of 100% of her attack, which is going to be low usually. It's more of a benefit to build her for HP points instead of the attack. The healing is okay, but again, it's not going to replace the healing of an actual healer, and it's only for like one turn, and if you're running mechanics, that bio shield increases by 2% for each additional mechanical girl. So you might have Chloe on here, but you know, we'll get to that. All right, first go at 2-star. Before acting, allies on the team will get a 40% chance to break an enemy's HP shield. This is going to be great for your Infinity Maze, for your Abyss, and also for PvP Arena. If you know, we just had Miranda who loves to spam HP shields. How about giving your whole team a chance to break that HP shield for free? Okay, no strings attached. Already Mousse is, you know, power creeping with this a little bit, but it is what it is. Miranda's already very strong and she offers other skills, but Mousse here is just giving you options in Arena and also PvE modes. Then for 3-star, it's the standard energy increase with the stat boosts. 4-star, whenever an ally with Mouse's bio shields, that can be from the basic or the skill, receives any sort of control 2, which is going to include your stun, your paralyze, your silence, and also poison from an ally, you know, for an ally that has the bio shield. Just remove it. You know, just go ahead. Every ally will get this buff up as long as they have the bio shield. Remember, it's only once per round, so if they get hit again by the control 2, it will actually stick and apply that time. But already pretty good. This, you know, is countering Hecate's basic attack skill a little bit, and you know, we just had her too. So Mousse here is just offering a lot of different abilities to keep your team clear of control, keep your team punching through HP shields, and also protecting your team with Mouse's bio shield. Finally, at 5-star, after using the skill, apply a bio shield to the ally with the highest energy. This is going to absorb damage equal to 5% of Mouse's HP, so it's going to be the bio shield with 5% of Mouse's HP, and a 50% chance to make the ally make an extra character action, and it's capped at 3 times per turn. So this is multicasting, and you've probably seen that term floating around from other channels or threads, but multicasting. So this action will trigger traits. It could go on a Chloe, could go on your best DPS character. Normally, it's going to go on your best DPS character. So you're going to have to do a little bit of tinkering with making sure that your DPS character has the highest energy so that they can continue to take extra actions. All right, let me double check this real quick. All right, so this is what I mean. Yep, because you're targeting characters that have high energy to take the extra action. Yep, because the bio shield is going onto the ally with the highest energy. that same ally, because of this comma, is the one that gets targeted to make the extra character action. So you can go ahead and have Sayana, Puff, Eve. If for some reason you want your control character like Hecate to be the highest energy and you manage that, then you're just going to keep spamming it with Mousse here. But it doesn't end there, because we already kind of spoiled a little bit with the weapon. The weapon is actually worthwhile. You got minimum 2 copies so that you can try to get the Oath 1 and get the extra ability down here, but you'll want to get your 3 rank so that you can get the extra 15% attack boost. 7 or better will be great, we want that. But also, like I said, your rare weapon tickets are shared with the Dark and Saint characters, and they're coming up soon. So you're increasing attack boost for all your allied girls by 15%. And then at rank 7, in addition, every time she casts a skill, it'll restore 1 energy to all the allies. And then decent stuff. Hit rate on a support character, okay. Who decided that? Damage reduction, we love it. HP boost, we love it. Damage reduction in PvP, okay. And then just extra energy so that she's starting the game off topped up. But finally, when you get the Oath 1 for your character, so you remember you need 5-star in the Oath 1. It's gonna be an extra copy on top of that, so it looks like 12 total copies. After the allied mechanic girl takes an action, Mousse has this 40% chance to perform an extra attack, and that can trigger traits. So by an extra attack, I've seen this normally do basics. We'll have to test it out. My impression here is that it could be any, but it looks like a basic attack. But it triggers the traits of her basic, which is going to put a bio shield on an ally. If you have a purification mark, it could remove something off of you too, and different items like that. But you can combo this with Chloe, and Chloe would potentially make a mechanical girl on the team take an extra action, which could be a skill, and that skill could then trigger an ally on your team to then go ahead and make their attack, which could be a DPS girl. Say it's Sayana, for example. Chloe activates first, pops some shields, makes Mousse go. Mousse then makes your Sayana go, and all this happens as part of Chloe's attack, so then you continue your order of operations. This is a character that I am personally looking to draw as well. We'll see if by the end of the week I have enough rainbow tickets and gems. And, don't be surprised or miss some action here, because it will all be on the channel. And we'll just be covering a little bit of Mouse's skills. But again, this is a character that I am very excited for. Folks with a main DPS that are looking for a support girl to keep in line with them, Hero and Yoru are very good. But Mousse here is going to be taking that all to another level. There are 3 support characters from the regular factions that I asked folks to definitely look at, and we've already reviewed one on the channel, Hero and Yoru. Mousse is going to come up soon, and then Oldo, of course, if we ever see her rerun again. But Mousse here, for sure, one to look at because of this multicasting skill. Is going to be very strong. And remember that for the multicasting, you need to be 5-star. So if you're pulling for Mousse, you're going to get some good buffs at the earlier levels, but 5-star is really where it kicks up and is performing very well for you in PvE modes. And in PvP arena, it's just kind of hilarious watching your girls take extra actions and just decimate the enemy team. So what are your thoughts? What are your impressions of this week's events so far? As well as what we've got looking here with Mousse. Is this a support girl that you want to add to your roster? Are you playing mechanics and already spamming extra actions with 0? Degenerate. And also, are there any marks or resources from the shop that you're considering picking up for yourselves? I'm feeling pretty good about Mousse and adding her to the roster, but also got to be careful with your resource management, because we have Saint and Darken resources to use, this one being a Darken banner that's coming up. So if you're saving for that, then you want to think about it, just because we're getting closer, and many of my videos might just be covering that because it's an important thing to think about. But let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. What you'd like to see in the future. Do you want to see a Mousse review event? You want to see a little bit of a gameplay? We'll find out. But again, if you're pulling for Mousse and participating in this week's events, wish you the best of luck and happy gotcha.